Hi guys, it's Emily here coming at you with a brand new video from a brand new location. Hello if you're new and coming from Regan Brown's channel because we are doing a collab. Regan is an amazing CP warrior also who has a series on her channel called Go Regan where she documents her life living with cerebral palsy. So, if you like my videos, you'll definitely love hers, because I'm a huge fan of hers. I think we should all bring more awareness, and what a better way than to do it on video, and to do it for the YouTube community. So, we recently worked on a collab where we talked about the 10 things that you shouldn't do. The 10 things that you shouldn't say to a disabled person. And I came up with 10, and so she came up with 10 also. And yes, you could say, oh, you're doing the same video, but no, it's not the same video because there's literally a million things that you shouldn't say to a disabled person. So yeah, with that being said, go check out Regan's video after you watch this one. And if you're coming from Regan's channel, hello, how are you? I hope you stick around and subscribe. So, if I'm looking down, it's because I have the things that you shouldn't say typed out on my phone, and I'm just gonna talk about each one of them because, like I said, there's 10. So, 10 things you shouldn't say to a disabled person. 1. Don't steal our parking spaces. Please. Please don't steal them, because I can't even tell you how many times I've been to the mall, and I've been to the, movies, Walmart, school, my college campus, and all the handicap spots are being taken. And that's not the problem here. The problem is that half the time they're not taken by ones who need them. Because I've walked by and looked for the little handicap symbol, and it hasn't been there. No sticker, no wheelchair, no walker, no nothing, And so that's what bugs me, because when we use things such as walkers and wheelchairs and canes and crutches and step stools to get in and out of the car and to be independent using those devices with a disability or with a disabled person, we need space, and those spots are designed for a reason, and you should only use them if you have the proper documentation, or such as like a handicap sticker, or you should only use them if you really need to, like, hence having a disability. Hashtag don't steal the spot. The second one that people do not only that people do, but people say to us as disabled people, is they talk around us. Now, I've had this happen numerous times, either at like a party or, I don't know why my camera keeps falling, I'm sorry, either at a party or a function for school, lunch or something or whatever. People will talk around us, or let's say if I have a family member sitting next to me, they will talk directly to the family member and not to me. Now that's just ridiculous, because just because we have a disability, in this case mine and Regan's is cerebral palsy, doesn't mean that affects our ability to communicate. And, you know, some people's ability to communicate is affected by cerebral palsy, but that doesn't stop them. They can use communication devices, they can use sign language, they can use whatever. So, even though we do have a disability, and maybe the way that some of us communicate is different than the way you communicate, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't be talked to, or we shouldn't have a conversation held with us. That doesn't mean that we need our family member to speak for us. So next time you see us out and you want to talk to us, talk to us. Don't talk to our family member, because we can hear you and we can have a conversation. There's no need for them to speak for us unless we ask them to. Oh, this next one, number 3, is a biggie. Is a big one that I see all the time. People are like, oh, your wheelchair is so cool, or oh, that's a sweet walker, I see you running down the hallway, or even with the handicap spot for that matter, they're like, oh, cool, you get your own spot, blah blah blah. But, you know, these things aren't cool. They aren't badges of honor. I mean, they're nothing to be ashamed about, but it's not like, hey, I just got a new walker. It's not like, you know, whatever. They're things that are in place to help us be better people, to live a more independent life, to do things like go out to lunch with our friends and not have to walk 3 miles to get to the door, or, you know, to be able to go to the mall, but because we get tired after long distances, to be able to sit down and have somebody wheel us, or us wheel ourselves. So yeah, they're not cool. They're literally our lifelines to help us live a better life. Number 5 on the list of just 10 possible items that you shouldn't say to a disabled person. Or no, number 4, I'm sorry. Oh gosh, what happened to you? God bless your soul. You know, you poor thing. I can't even tell you how many people have asked me that. A disability isn't a curse. It isn't something to say, oh, poor me, about. Like, we don't need to be pitied. It's something that we're born with. Therefore, it's something that we can't control. Currently, there's not even, like, a cure for cerebral palsy. I can't even ask you how many people have asked me over the years, like, you know, oh, can you just take a magic pill or something? No. There's treatments to lessen the severity of your cerebral palsy, and, like, to loosen your tight muscles, and, you know, to help you be more independent and move around as you please, but it's never going to be cured. So the only thing we're trying to do is to live the best life possible with the situation we've been given. Like, we don't need to be pitied. Like, everybody goes through hard times. Everybody has, their own things that they deal with. You know what I mean? So we don't need to be pitied. We don't need to say, oh, poor you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just not something that you say. Oh, this one. Big one again. Please, public service announcement, people, please. If you are not handicapped, please do not use the handicapped dressing room just so you have more space to dry on your clothes. I'm going to tell you a personal testimony right now. I cannot even tell you how horrible it was shopping for my prom dress for my junior year of high school. So I graduated high school in 2015, and so my junior prom was May of 2014. I can't even tell you how difficult it was shopping for the prom dress, because I found the perfect, most beautiful dress. Like, I looked amazing in it. I had a great time. It was fine. But when I went to go try it on to make sure it would work, some girl was in the dressing room of the handicapped dressing room, and she was perfectly able-bodied. She was, dancing, moving around, whatever. And the worst part about it is that it was her mother, and her grandmother in there, and they were FaceTiming somebody about her prom dress. Meanwhile, me, my mother, and my sister were in an able-bodied dressing room, and we were struggling to get me to stand up without a bar on the pedestal thing, just so I could see what the dress looked like. Like, I can't even tell you how many times we go shopping and we run into that. Like, literally, like, I know they're big and I know they're cool because, like, you could spread out and whatever, but to me it's not cool. To me it's a necessity because last time I checked, my wheelchair is huge. My walker is, a decent size. Like, we need the space. Again, same with the parking spot. Don't steal our space. Oh, this next one is hard to take. Somebody has asked me, oh, are you contagious? Can I get sick like you? And my response is, no. My cerebral palsy is not contagious. It was a brain injury. It's not contagious. But what is contagious is my smile. Oh, another thing. To go along with the whole space thing. Do not use the handicap stall of the bathroom. Those bars are there for a reason. Those bars are there so we could use that. We as disabled people can use them to maneuver around the stall so we don't fall on our faces. Because, newsflash, I don't have the best balance. I've fallen many times, and especially in the restroom. And that big space right near the toilet isn't so you can put your shopping bags down. It's so I can back my wheelchair or my walker in there and safely get out of the walker and the wheelchair and safely transfer over to the toilet. So please don't use the bathroom. Again, we need the space. Now, you may look on my channel and you may see, oh, a girl with a pretty smiling face, right? Yeah, I tried to hide my struggles pretty well, or I tried to not let them get me down. But our life is pretty challenging. We require a lot of time in surgery and a lot of time in therapy. I personally go to therapy twice a week to work on my muscles and my back and my legs and my tummy muscles. And me being a college student, it's super hard to balance all of that. Hold on, my dad's FaceTiming me. Super hard to balance all of that. And that's one of the reasons I started this vlog channel, is to show that I could be a college student and hang out with friends and, do all the normal things, but still have a disability. Like, yes, even though I do spend a lot of my time in therapy and other things, and it's really hard to balance, my disability doesn't take over my whole life. Or at least, I try not to let it. Now, my camera's battery is flashing, so let's try to get through this next two quickly. Hi everyone, I'm so sorry the quality just changed, and you can see a little bit more of the background now. But, it just so happens, my battery died on my camera, and then when I went to go get the other battery that I have, that one was also dead. So, just the life of a vlogger. Hashtag dead battery problems. But anyway, I'm here to drink my Dunkin' and to finish the last 2 things on my list of 10 possibilities that you should never say to a disabled person. So I hope you are finding this video very informative so far, because I worked really hard on it. And so, let's get to it. The last 2 things that you should never say to a disabled person are as follows. Please don't pity us. Please don't treat us like we are 5 years old. Even though it may be tempting to say, oh, I'm so sorry for you. I'm so sorry. And sometimes that's okay. Like, if you see a post on Facebook or a video on YouTube or a vlog somewhere saying, hey, we just had surgery, or hey, I had a tough day at therapy, or hey, somebody took my handicap spot, or, something like that that's obviously irritating or hard to deal with, you could say, hey, I'm sorry you have to deal with this, or hey, I'm sorry you're going through such a hard time, like, stay strong, I'm thinking of you, but there's no reason to say, oh, I'm sorry and I feel bad for you. I can't even tell you how that used to just irk me when I was younger, because for me and many others like me, I got diagnosed with cerebral palsy when I was 3 years old. So I'm almost 20 now. I'll be 20 April 10th, 2017. So for the last 19, 20 years, I haven't known anything different other than to have a disability. Sure, sometimes I think what life would be like without one, but never for more than like 5 seconds, because I don't know what life is going to be like without one. I'm never going to know what that life is going to be like without one. So why don't I just go live my life, play the best hand of poker I can, with the set of cards I've been given, play the best hand of poker. I may lose at the end, or I may get a royal flush, but you just gotta live your life, And at the end of the day, this disability that I've been given will give me a better story to tell. It's given me the chance to do so many amazing things. It's given me the chance to meet so many amazing people. It's given me the chance to collaborate with Regan today on this amazing video project. So I wouldn't change it for the world. And the last thing that you either may not know about a disabled person or what, is having a disability takes a toll on us. If you think that me being smiling and happy in my videos all the time is a sign that nothing affects me about having this disability, then you're wrong. I can't even tell you how many panic attacks I've had right before going into surgery where I cry so much that I throw up. Or I can't even tell you how many days it's been super hard to get out of bed to go to therapy, because either number one, I'm in pain, or because I just don't like therapy anymore, even though it helps me. Because when you do the same thing for 20 years, it's like having the same job for 20 years. You want your turn to retire, but from this you never get to, So that's hard. I definitely struggle with anxiety and depression, and having a disability isn't easy. It's not all sunshine and roses, but that doesn't mean that I would change it for anything. I wouldn't change having a disability because I don't know anything different. And God has everything happen for a reason, and even though sometimes I'll admit it, I get frustrated not knowing what that reason may be, but I know there's a reason, and I just have to believe in it.